Jason immediately said, "No problem, David." He handed him a Bible and said, "Come on in." David took the Bible up and just kind of stood there for a moment, not really sure what to do. Then Jason said, "Hey, relax, just come inside, take a seat." And so David did. He sat down with the Bible, and then Jason actually came over and sat down next to him. And the two of them, for about 15 minutes, just made kind of awkward small talk. Jason could tell that David is completely uninterested, staring at the door, which was now closed, and just clearly very anxious and paranoid. Jason really wasn't talking about the Bible or God or anything. He was just, trying to calm David down and show him that this was a safe place. And then after about 15 minutes of this, when David had somewhat calmed down, and also by this point, nobody else had showed up for his Bible study, Jason decided, okay, you know what, maybe I'll just begin the Bible study with David. It kind of gives us something to do. And so, Jason went up, locked the door, showing David.
We're having fried chicken. I don't know what else with that.
Told David to go ahead and open his Bible to a certain page. And the two of them just began reading the Bible together. And for hours, they just sat there reading the Bible, and Jason spoke to David about, teachings of God and how to lead your life in a way to serve other people. And, for the most part, David did completely calm down and seemed to really be embracing this Bible study. But eventually, despite how well this Bible study was going, it did need to come to an end at some point.
I don't know what it is on TV.
When he began to notice it was getting dark outside, he sort of began wrapping it up and shut his Bible and sort of expected that David would take a hint and leave, but David didn't. Instead, when David began to realize that, hey, this is over now and it's time for him to go, David looked at Jason and begged him to please let him stay in this room overnight, that he can't go out there, it's not safe for him. Now, Jason knew he did have some level of responsibility for David. David had told him he was in danger, he had already invited him inside and was basically providing safe haven for him, and it did feel kind of wrong to be like, now go back out there. But at the same time, Jason felt a little uneasy. He didn't really know David.
We're gonna shoot fireworks.
So there was some hesitation at first, but after looking again at David and seeing how desperate he was to just please stay here overnight.
My mom would not be lying on the phone.
Okay, you can stay. So Jason grabbed some extra blankets and pillows.
Don't know yet.
No, he shouldn't be, because we'll be busy watching fireworks and everything.
Two of them actually reopened their Bibles and just began reading some more from their Bible.
I don't know if we're going to grill out.
Another round of Bible study. But eventually, they both were very tired. So
we're not there yet.
Down, they said goodnight.
We were 2 days away still.
Closed their eyes and closed. For the next 5 days, Jason's motel room remained mostly.
I woke Dino up.
The only thing anybody heard coming from his room was gospel music. He played at a very high volume,
playing with his teeth a bit. I am
to the point where other residents of this motel began to complain about how loud the music was. However, the owner of the motel was getting these complaints from residents who were only there for hours at a time or days at a time. And the room they're complaining about, Jason's room, he was a long-term resident.
He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Higher priority with the owner. And so the owner just didn't feel like bothering Jason. He wanted him to stay.
Who?
Room.
Me?
So the owner didn't do anything about noise complaints. And also, the owner did know that his motel had sort of seen reputation.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, wag that tail. Wag that tail.
So over the course of these 5 days, the music kept on blasting, and really the only other thing of note, again, that happened in this period of time, was that these two other people entered Jason's motel room.
That's good.
So basically, there's 4 people in the room. They haven't come out again. Super loud music. That's all going on for 5 days. And then on the 5th day, the morning of September 22nd, a single person walked out of Jason's motel room, and they were wearing a full-body hazmat suit and carrying some sort of luggage. Leave the motel, get in a car, and drive away. 45 minutes later, about 25 miles away from that motel, the Fort Worth Fire Department got a call about this raging dumpster fire in a residential neighborhood. Firefighters quickly got to the scene and put out the blaze. And after it was gone, they walked up to the smoky dumpster and looked inside just to get a look at what was burning. What they saw caused them all to back up and call the police. It would turn out David was right when he said he was in danger. However, what he didn't understand is hiding out in Jason's motel room was not going to protect him from that danger. Shortly after he and Jason wrapped up that second Bible study that night, the two of them climbed into their respective beds. Jason in his actual bed and David in the makeshift bed on the floor. Well, David did fall asleep pretty quickly, but Jason didn't. Jason waited until David was asleep. Jason got up, got a knife, and then slit David's throat. Then he cut David's heart out and ate it, because Jason the preacher really actually believed that human sacrifice was the best and purest way to serve God. Over the course of the next 5 days after killing David, Jason would remain in his motel room, blasting gospel music, and over those 5 days, he would basically lure those 2 women into his room, very likely on the promise of Bible study, but they too would be sacrificed. And then on the 5th day, the person who exited the motel room into full hazmat suit was Jason. And that
Yeah,
luggage he
we're
was
going
carrying
to
with
shoot
him
off
contained
fireworks.
body parts of the 3 people he had just killed. He brought those body parts to that dumpster in that residential neighborhood and lit them on fire. And so when the firefighters put out the fire, what they saw inside were burned up bodies. Jason was arrested, and while he was awaiting trial, he confessed that David and the 2 women were not actually his first victims. He said that just a few years earlier, he had sacrificed his girlfriend, and that house fire that destroyed all of his belongings and prompted him to go live in this motel was set by Jason himself, because he had sacrificed his roommate and needed to get rid of the evidence. Ultimately, law enforcement was only able to show that Jason killed those 5 people. But there could have been more. Jason was found guilty of capital murder and sentenced to death.
I have no reason to get banned again.
In Texas.
Because of true crime stories I'm listening to. They don't like it, they're soft. They ban you over my videos I'm watching.
On the evening of Thursday, May 21st, 2015, a 16-year-old girl named Lily walked into the home gym inside of her house in Hong Kong looking to do a workout. Now, she sort of expected the gym would be empty and she could kind of have the run of the place, but as soon as she walked in, she saw her dad was in there and he was doing some sort of cool-down exercise on a yoga ball. So Lily's dad, whose name was Pa Kim's son, was a doctor, a professional, and normally at this time of the day, she would never see him in the gym. He was typically locked upstairs in a study, or upstairs doing work or something, or he was just gone from the day. So for him to be here, it just didn't really line up with his schedule. And so Lily asked her dad, like, what are you doing here? What's going on? And her dad would tell her, well, actually, work at the hospital was pretty slow today, so I took off, played some tennis with friends, and now I'm just doing some cool-down exercises because I got nothing else to do. But I'll be out of your hair in a second. Sure enough, a couple minutes later, her dad was up, out of the gym, and Lily just began to work out. The next day, May 22nd, around 1 o'clock, Lily was at home at her dining room table, sitting across from her mother, whose name was Wong Si Fing. Lily was eating a snack and staring at an open textbook. Now, normally, at 1 o'clock on a Friday, Lily would be at school, but she'd had a day off that day. And she had wanted to spend her day off seeing friends and just being a teenager, but her dad was really focused on her being successful academically, and he told her that absolutely not. You're not going anywhere. You are going to stay home, and you're going to study all day long. You will not leave the house. That's what you're doing. So Lily just continued to stare at the textbook and basically do what her father said. And a couple of minutes later,
I've been talking.
Coming down the stairs, he came into the dining room, and he was clearly very pleased to see his daughter doing her work, or at least appearing to do her work. And he came over to her, gave her a kiss, kissed her mother, and then he said he was off to work. And he went out the door. He was gone. And as soon as Carl was gone, Lily's mom looked over at her and said, I'm not going to make you study all day. Come on, let's go out and have a mother-daughter shopping. And Lily was stoked. She shut her textbook, she went and got ready, and a minute later, she and her mom climbed into her mom's yellow Mini Cooper car, and they headed out. About 2 hours later, around 4:15 p.m., a local jogger was running in the same neighborhood as where Lily and her family lived. And as they were running down the road, they noticed there was this yellow Mini Cooper car sitting on the side of the road, not moving, but it was still on, just sort of idling right there. And at first glance, it appeared there were people inside the car. They weren't doing anything. They were sitting there, not moving. And so the jogger was curious, and so they ran past and made a point to look inside the car. And they saw 2 women in the front 2 seats of the
Mom, look
car
down.
slumped over. The 2 women were Lily and her mother.
No, look what he's laying.
Panicked,
Yeah.
and banged on the
You see
glass
what
to
he's
try to
laying?
get the women to respond. Didn't.
You see where his head is laying?
Later, police were
Hey.
called.
I am okay.
Yes, do you see where his head is laying?
Totally unresponsive.
On my hand.
Yeah.
Rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. They both died. The police would begin their investigation into their deaths
I'm
by searching
okay.
the yellow Mini Cooper car. When they searched it, there really was nothing of note inside of it. I mean, the two women's purses were in front of the car. There was some basic exercise equipment in the trunk, but the car didn't seem to have any bearing
It looked
on
weird
what
from this
happened
angle.
to the women. However, it
It's got
turned
an
out
incision on
the
there.
yoga ball
No.
did
That's what here looks like to do.
Specifically, 2 days before the women were found dead, that yoga ball was inside of Billy's home. It was in her home gym. In fact, when she walked into the home gym and saw her dad doing cool-down exercises and thought it was strange he was home right now, he was using that yoga ball. And Lily didn't think anything of it. But in reality, what her father was doing was not cool-down exercises. He did not just come home early and, play tennis and this and that. In reality, he had taken that yoga ball to the hospital where he worked and filled it with carbon monoxide, an odorless, colorless, poisonous gas. And his plan was to put the yoga ball in his wife's car, unplug it, and now it's sealed and the gas is going to leak inside the car. And then when his wife got in the car and shut the door, she would effectively suffocate and die. He didn't try to kill his daughter. He wanted her to stay home and study, i.e. don't go with your mom and get in the car. But the mother defied the father, brought the daughter along, and then after driving for only a mile, the two women collapsed and died. Ka Kim's son was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. He was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. He has never explained his murder. In case you haven't heard yet, our newest graphic novel, Mr. Ballin Presents Where Nightmares Live, is available for pre-order right now. It contains another 9 heart-stopping, strange, dark, and mysterious stories, all based on real events. This was a passion project. It took a lot of time, a lot of people involved, from the artwork to the storytelling. I mean, this is a beautiful piece to add to your collection.
I've been talking.
It's what? So talking. Taking a long day. It's a thing. Craziest moment from sports. Just blank.
I don't live in the woods.
You just jump off the table, and the rest was history.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the wildest things ever to happen in sports. We won't be including moments that involve serious injuries or deaths.
The Bee Gees actually blamed me for killing Disco, which I thought was a victory.
Number 20, the World Series earthquake. As the Oakland A's and San Francisco Giants were warming up for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series at Candlestick Park, a massive earthquake struck the Bay Area.
We were on the air for 4 minutes, and at 5:04, we were off the air for a while.
The TV broadcast had been replaying clips from Game 2, and the feed was lost in the voices of announcers Sid McCarver and Al Michaels cut out. Fortunately, there were no injuries inside the stadium, and both players and fans were able to evacuate safely. The disaster did cause numerous casualties, but it could have been much worse. Thousands of people who usually would have been out and about that Tuesday afternoon were instead home to watch the game. There was a lot going on in the Bay Area at that time. It was ultimately played 10 days later, the longest ever delay of a World Series game. Number 19, scandal at the 1990 World Cup.
Yeah, you too.
What do they say?
Told me to have a blessed day.
You too. Amen.
During the qualifying round at Maracanã Stadium, Brazil was leading Chile 1-0 after 67 minutes of play. Suddenly, a flash of light zipped through the stadium and landed on the field. Blood streaming down his head. Witnesses said a flare had been shot from the stands and only one photographer in the entire stadium caught the moment. The photos were rushed into development and they proved that the flare hadn't actually hit Rojas. He later admitted that the entire thing had been staged to get Brazil eliminated, and that he had cut his own head with a razor hidden in his glove. He had a lifetime ban, and Chile was barred from the 1994 tournament. Number 18, the Haiti Bowl. This 1968 between the Raiders and the Jets saw Oakland score 2 touchdowns in the final minutes to pull off a crazy comeback.
The Oakland Raiders reversed their fate with a victory that was unforeseen and unseen by the TV audience.
You know,
When we won the game, the people in the stadium knew we won the
they can't see me,
game.
can
The
they?
people who watched
No.
on television across the country thought that the Jets
If they
won.
did, they call it in my hat.
Unfortunately, the fans missed it. NBC's made-for-TV movie Heidi was scheduled to start at 7 p.m. As the game ran long, NBC execs soon realized it wouldn't end in time. At around 6:45, they decided to delay Heidi and let the game continue. At the same time, frantic football fans began calling in, demanding that the network not cut away and jamming the switchboards. The higher-ups couldn't get through to the technicians who switched over to Heidi on schedule.
Let's be all updated. Be quiet, Heidi. Please don't make me stay updated.
Fans missed one of the most exciting minutes in football history, and NBC had to eat a lot of grub. Number 17, Tiger Woods' comeback to the Masters. If you could only name one professional golfer, it's probably Tiger Woods, who shot to the top of the game starting in the late 90s.
Tiger Woods picked up
Remember Tiger Woods?
Yeah,
I think he's still going, isn't he?
I don't know.
You know, a couple years ago he was still
He
going.
soon became the only player.
I think they're trying to accuse him of something.
U.S.
Yeah, I think
Open,
so, too.
GA Championship,
Like
and the
Brett
Masters in one season. A move now.
Look, he's accused of
However, starting in
trying to essay a
2009, Woods was involved
Brett
in
Favre
several
was.
major scandals, including Uruguayan analysts.
I tried to get one. Medicaid won't cover it.
What is that?
A walker with a seat.
I want to help you much anyway.
Number 5.
You gotta
Where I
wait
can
for-
sit down.
Yeah, but you got a wheelchair. Plus you have
personality
seats
and
in
his
there.
appearances in the Hangover franchise.
I have a chair I can sit down on.
In the kitchen.
For something a little less amazing.
Ain't that right? No. You got a chair you can sit on in the kitchen.
I do interact with comments when they're nice comments.
If you're rude, you're on the chair somewhere else.
WBA World Heavyweight Championship.
If you wanna fight,
Evander Holyfield.
well, that's all right.
Chunk out of
Fight
Holyfield
yourself.
right here. The fight was stopped as Holyfield was.
My older son, yes, he knows how to cook some things.
I know how to cook some things too.
Continue so lean.
So does her youngest. She meant to say mom.
Fight on.
She did.
Just moments
My
later,
youngest
Tyson
son knows how to
again
cook some
on the
things
other
too.
end. At that point, Lane did disqualify Tyson.
I'm a chef. I make a popcorn.
Seems to be some kind of
Pretty easy.
It looks like he could have been disqualified. The fight could be over.
Tyson has since apologized. Number 4, Disco Demolition Man. By the end of the 1970s, the tide had turned against disco music. In 1979, the Chicago White Sox, who weren't having a great season, advertised Disco Demolition Night, hoping to draw in rock fans and sell tickets.
I have a wheelchair.
Steve Dahl, popular disc jockey for Chicago rock station.
I can't use it in our home,
Who would take the field at the head.
but I have a wheelchair when I go shopping.
Plus, our home isn't that big
Thousands
anyway.
of disco.
Our home is not big enough for a wheelchair.
Plus, it isn't that big. You can walk through the hallway easily.
Sense and shock jock Steve Dahl
Right.
would blow up
And from the kitchen to the hallway is a short distance. I can walk that.
flooded into the stadium.
I can't walk that far in the store.
Way bigger than anticipated.
Yeah,
to spark a riot. Rowdy attendees rushed the field, flinging records like deadly frisbees.
Well, that's good that you used to be a cook.
Damage that the Sox had to forfeit the second game.
The White Sox were forced to forfeit. There were 39 reported arrests. Early minor.
I tried to get one and they said no.
Say was the largest.
I have a walker with no seat to it.
Number 3, the play. The Stanford Cardinals and the California Golden Bears have always been major rivals. But this 1982 edition of the big game took it to an
I have to get rid of the cellulitis in my leg before I can have surgery. It's a long process.
You must be kind of like kayak.
Pretty decent reality.
I did physical therapy 3 times.
seconds to go. Stanford kicked the
They can't do no more for me until I have surgery.
appears to be over.
I'm on the clock. All the way through.
I'm not. I don't buy anything from Marketplace.
The Bears weren't ready to give up, and the final play of the game is wild. The Bears recovered the
Cellulitis is no joke.
ball 5 times. 2 of
I'm
which
still
might-
dealing with it.
By that point, the Stanford band had already rushed the field, and runner Kevin Moen had to fight his way through them to reach the end zone.
I'm gonna have to make an appointment with my doctor soon and get looked over. I'm gonna have to tell her about my neck too.
Final score was
My neck's all
California
messed up.
25, Stanford 20. Number 2, Miracle on Ice. At the 1980 Winter Olympics,
Over 5 years.
made up of college players
It
faced
just
off
won't
against
go
each other.
away.
The Soviet team, full of pros, had lost an
I use antibiotics, I use cream. Last thing they told me to use was Desitin. I'm using that.
So she just kept telling me, someone's going to beat him, someone's going to beat him, someone's going to beat him.
No one thought the U.S. had a chance. The Soviets were up 3-2 going into the third period, and around 9 minutes in, the Americans were able to take advantage of a power play to tie the game to 3 points each. Just a minute later, they scored again, and they held on for the remainder of the period to win.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks to the legendary Al Michaels' amazing commentary, the U.S. would go on.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa. How do you feel about the new
Be sure to subscribe to our
bill that they are voting on
You have the option to
in Washington about Medicaid?
I think they're trying to get rid of Medicaid.
Go into your settings and switch.
Well, I hope they don't do it. That's what I'm thinking about. But
Number 1, analysis.
They can't get rid of Medicaid. A lot of people are on it.
Or the city of Detroit, for that matter. During the 2004 game between the Pacers and Pistons, Ron Artest, aka Meta Sandiford Artest, fouled Detroit player Ben Wallace, who reacted by trying to pick a fight.
And Wallace is fouled, and Wallace gets
Cellulitis is that infection that goes to your blood.
Mostly kept his cool until a fan threw a drink at him. At that point, he and several other Pacers climbed into the
And it's hard to get rid of.
The Pistons fans, setting off a huge brawl between players and spectators. The officials and team staff struggled to get the Pacers off the court and into the locker room where the crowd pelted them with food and drinks. Ultimately, 9 players were suspended. And
Nobody here where we live gonna lose our Medicaid.
It all started with a foul.
My oldest son just got Medicaid back.
let us do the business. What are you telling them now?
Because I think everybody's gonna lose Medicaid.
They coming to see me.
They'll never come out with
Yeah, Trump can do whatever he wants, but he'll get a lot of people mad at him. Well, my situation, I have no choice but to have surgery. Medicaid don't cover for Medicare. They're two different insurance.
In this footage,
Siri dash cam video.
by Jason, something happened.
You don't know what a dash cam is?
It's on, you put on the vehicle, inside the vehicle.
Jason was on his way to what he thought was going to be the house of a woman he matched with on a dating app. The person had given Jason their address over the app. They had not exchanged numbers. After putting the address into his phone, he realized that not only was the address 20 minutes away, it was also in the less desirable side of town. Against his better judgment, he got in his car anyway to head to the given address, which was in a cul-de-sac. After entering the cul-de-sac, he realized all 3 houses had all their lights out. When he tried to message the girl he matched on the dating app, she would no longer answer. After waiting a few minutes for an answer, he realized the person had
Why you want to know my cash app?
trick or prank.
They want
So
to
he
ask
turned
me
the
for
car
money.
around.
You're not getting no cash out.
Cul-de-sac. He noticed someone on the sidewalk stepping.
All you guys do is trying to ask
He locks his door.
for money from me, and I don't have money to give out.
On the dash cam.
Watch. Watch.
The footage is kind of grainy, so it's hard to make out some of the smaller details. Happened. Jason slowed down. He saw a masked person walking into the middle of the street, immediately knowing something was off because there was nothing across the street except a busy highway. So he locks his door and comes to a stop as the person is directly in front of him.
Yeah, there's some medications you can get covered by Medicaid.
Grabs a handgun. It's a little hard to see in the video due to lighting. He starts running towards his driver's side door. Jason immediately steps on the gas and drives past the man, who then tries to open the door, which thankfully was locked mere seconds earlier. It's hard to see unless you pause and zoom in, that the man in the video is wearing a creepy smiling mask. The man didn't fire any rounds, but that's also under the assumption that the gun was either loaded or real. It's not that uncommon to hear about people using fake guns in scenarios like this. What was strange about this is while even though it was in a less desirable end of town, it was still a very residential block right next to a highway. So it was a slightly questionable place to pull this. However, it doesn't take a detective to put the pieces together.
Medicaid will cover for my surgery. That's no problem.
Guy to a dead-end road in order to rob him at gunpoint, or worse.
I have to get rid of the sores on my legs that cause from cellulitis.
Ran alongside a long
That's the problem.
Jason reported the whole incident to the police, including the given address. Jason was accompanied with a police officer to knock on the door of the address in question the next day, and an older woman who claimed to live alone answered the door. She claimed she had nothing to do with it. That's obviously pretty likely to be the truth. I mean, a random person simply chose that address because the street was low-key and hidden, debatably a perfect spot to try and set somebody up. Luckily, Jason didn't decide to stay put and got away without harm, because who knows what could have happened. Before the next clip, I just want to talk about today's sponsor, Aura. I read a lot of horror
Yeah,
stories.
they'll cover for my surgery.
The growing horror story in America, more and more people are falling victim to is identity theft, with there being a new victim every 14 seconds.
Not a joke, Jim.
You may be unpleasantly surprised to learn how easy it is for your information like passwords to be leaked in a data breach. And with this information, hackers and scammers can gain access to a whole lot more of your information. Luckily, Aura
Yeah, it's a bacterial infection.
A VPN, antivirus software, and more, all combined into
Due
one.
to my old doctor
One-stop shop.
popped
I
a
personally have been the victim of data
pimple on my leg and didn't clean it.
Accounts have been hacked.
That's how I got cellulitis.
My accounts, only to see the passwords have been changed, actually made me sick to my stomach. Some of you may even remember my Twitter account was publicly hacked like 6 years ago. And being a YouTuber that keeps most of my info on the more private side, I definitely find myself being a target of these things quite often. And Aura has been a huge help in keeping my information secure. Constantly alerting
Some
me.
states might lose Medicaid, but our state,
Click the link in the description.
we still have it.
Yeah, Mom, for now. But you can't say
You get a
never
2-week
listen.
free trial. No commitment
don't know. You're not
necessary.
gonna-
Aura also offers a 60-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied. If you care about your security, I do personally recommend it. On November 23rd, 2016, the day before Thanksgiving, a fire began on the Chimney Pots Trail in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The fire was sparked by a group of kids playing with matches in the woods. It was fueled by unusually high winds. Flames erupted in a remote area with steep terrain that made access to the fire difficult for firefighters. Crews spent 3 days working to create a containment area lower down the mountain. Helicopters flew overhead doing bucket drops to attempt to
There's a lot of people
On the 4th day,
that have
fire
Medicaid.
spread, but the Gatlinburg fire chief said projections showed no immediate threat to Gatlinburg. Despite the predictions, on Monday, November 28th, dry weather and extreme winds caused the fire to grow rapidly. That evening, wind gusts of up to 87 miles per hour sent embers flying into Gatlinburg, wreaking havoc on the city and surrounding communities. Town officials reported that evacuation alerts were sent out to residents' cell phones, but many residents said they never received any alerts. 14 people were killed and 191 people were injured in the fire. The flames destroyed nearly 2,500
My whole
homes
family has
and estimated
Medicaid.
$2 billion worth of damages.
Grandma too?
Resident Michael Luciano reported
That's why we had to do all that paperwork for her when she was in the nursing
During the
home.
drive down, just about every single passing cabin was seen engulfed in flames.
That's bad. Look.
No, you cannot see what's on my leg.
Look at the TV. That was a fire. Like in 2016, they said.
I can't see. You can see. Why is it Restart today, Rachel. Wrong way. What? Oh, God.
And at multiple points, the two find themselves stuck behind fallen trees.
Go through it.
Let me grab my gun.
Go through it.
Oh yeah.
They're saying every.
The old man ended up pulling to the side, following Michael's taillights down the mountain. At certain points, it seems very likely the men aren't going to make it out alive. But by some stroke of luck, they made it to the containment area with only minor damages to their truck. Their luck didn't just end there, though. Their cabin survived the fires with very little damage.
I wonder if,
despite its close proximity to the
you're live
surrounding
right
Gulf
now,
of
right, Mom?
flames.
Yeah.
While this footage
I wonder what that ugly motorcyclist wanna be.
We won't say her name, but we know who you're talking about. I wonder what that.
Can't fix the windows. I don't always do that. Yeah. You're a troll.
I fucking need it. I need it. I need it. Yes,
Our windows are boarded up. What we need is the air conditioner. It was that way when we got it. Only window that worked was the driver's side, and that stopped working almost 3 years ago. We didn't have our windows down. Nobody's seen us driving our car with our windows down. They're boarded up. And they got boards inside the window to hold them up. Yeah, somebody was fibbing on me. This ain't true. We go early in the morning. I'm not selling the car. It still runs good. It just needs air conditioning. The heater works. It's just the air conditioning don't work. And it's cheap on gas. That's why I got it. I only paid $1,000 for it. Put a lot more into it. Selling it is out of the question. Their compressor went out. Do I drive? No, my husband drives. I'm not in no good shape to be driving. Why should I battle Natty Nat Nat? It's called using the steering wheel, start it up, back it up, and drive it. When it's cool outside, we can use the cool air from outside inside our car. But when it's hot out, 90 degrees, we're suffering. Not going to get no parts from Amazon. A nice try. They're inside of the car. You guys are thinking it wrong. Do DoorDash? No. A compressor. It needs to be cleaned. The hoses need to be cleaned out. We're better off having a professional do it. He knows what he's doing. I know it's boarded up. They take the panel off. The boards are inside the panel to hold the windows up. Well, they want to clean the hose and the labor and replace the compressor is $1,700. It's fixable. The guy that does it, we trust him. You don't know how much our car's worth. I'm not going to go fund me. It's a 2000 Oldsmobile Intrigue. It's a very good running car. It's cheap on gas. That's why I got it. I don't care what you guys think about my car. I had the money to buy it, so I bought it. So I needed a car. I can't climb in the van. The van's broke down too now. I already said what kind of car it is. I bought the car because I was the only one that had the money to buy it. My husband has insurance on it. What is up with all the questions? No, I'm not trading it in for a new car. Nope. Well, Wesley Wells, I am happily married. Next Sunday is mine and my husband's anniversary, 16 years. So, this is not a chat to go find somebody. Thank you, but like I said, I'm happily married. Where we're going for our anniversary? Nowhere. No, thank you. You know, you guys need to, let's have a positive chat, please. What's going on with the vehicle? It runs good, just needs the air conditioner worked on. You know, I'm relaxing, it's cool in here, and that's how I'm going to keep it. No, I'm not going back to the lamp. Like I said, I'm relaxing. You don't like it? Oh well. Have I took it to the repair shop? With what money? They won't release the car until we pay it off. Yeah. I'm not unblocking no one. What do you mean the car's not paid off? I don't have the money to fix the air conditioner. Who wants to help me? Yeah, I got a price, $1,700. Don't bring my sons into this. No GoFundMe's all over my Facebook. You guys are lying about that. Wow. You're a troll. That tells everything. Bye-bye, shortcake. He helps. I don't drink wine. I don't drink any alcohol. Well, I already explained it a while back. What all needs to be done. Yeah, I found out why my hands and shoulders swelled up, and my hands and my forearms swelled up. I know why. It's called heat outside. That's why we need an air conditioner in our car. That's why. Yes, the heat does. I do go outside. Carl, do I go outside?
Yeah, you do. And, you know, it's one of those things that, you know,
they want to know why it costs $1,700 to get our
because what is it?
compressor.
The compressor, the lines, and everything that has to do with the AC portion of the car needs to get replaced. And plus, you're paying for labor.
You guys hear that? I'm not repeating it.
And then there's the one dude. There's the one individual. I've lived in Mexico for and then I don't have AC. Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Who cares? Honestly, nobody does.
I've seen that.
And then, you know, when it comes down to my vehicle, what mine needs is to be drained and probably recharged. Pray to God I don't have to replace anything. But regardless, I will. Because that motor will end up getting pulled out. And then that motor will be going through.
Are you on my live?
Yeah.
Can you read that says, call me Nana? You see what she says?
Yeah. I'm personally not an early morning person.
We do make appointments early. That's nothing to do with that. You guys think you know everything. You don't know nothing about me and my family and what we're going through. It's just a fact. You guys want to judge my husband from drinking and smoking? That's his choice. I don't do none of that. Yeah, you guys want to bash me. No, Rosemary, Marie, I'm not. No, I got enough mods. I just don't want people judging me saying, you guys are scamming people. You guys nothing but beggars. No. It's a simple, can we please get some help? That's it. All we do is ask for help. We don't beg. It's a difference. Have any money to put towards it. They cut my money short because me and my husband are married. I'm completely broke. I don't make enough. My husband makes enough to pay the bills, keep our roof over our head. That's why I'm willing to battle or whatever. I like to get the air conditioning work done in our car. Simple as that. I'm not unblocking California Girl. No. No, windows don't roll down. I'm not unblocking nobody, so don't ask. What's wrong with my ceiling? The roof got fixed. We found a decent guy that did it. People think that we got mold in our room. No. The guy that fixed it said we have no mold. It's just happened in the past. I'm not unblocking her. That is, it's not mold. We used to have a leaking problem in our room, and it got worked on outside. The guy that worked on our roof came in our room and said there's no mold on there. Why do we have to prove that the windows don't go down?
Here. They want to know why the windows don't roll down so bad? The previous owner of that car, of our car, before my parents bought it, before my parents bought it, button, no work. Window motors, no work. So the windows are held up by pieces of wood on the inside of the door.
That's why I told
There
them.
is no going up, no going down.
They want me to take it out, my phone outside and prove them wrong.
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna sit there and fight with taking off door panels just to prove that we're right. I deal with enough of that myself. Yeah, I'm coming back here and I'm irritated. I am. Because that's annoying.
Oh, fix the windows. It's not that simple.
No problem going out to the closest pick and pull and going pulling parts. Because I need to go pull some parts myself. For my vehicle. But you know.
No, they don't always get my account taken. You guys need to stop.
See, it would probably be about $100 to fill my tank. Well, actually, I could probably get there. Now, I could probably do it off of $40 there and back.
We have two vehicles. One is my older son. The van needs a radiator put in. The car, it needs air conditioning. Yeah, we have electricity. We're keeping it off until nighttime because it's hot outside.
Melly's like root much. Drink another one, Carl. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Shauna, say go drink another one, Carl.
Why did
Go suck another one.
Why
Shauna.
did Carl get in trouble for touching someone 2 years ago?
When?
Yeah, when?
When was this? When was this?
Sonny said that.
Sonny?
You guys are making up lies after lies after lies.
You guys are wildin', bro.
No, I did not. Excuse me? My Facebook is private. You can't get into my Facebook. Duh. Nice try. Keep telling your stories. Make everybody believe it. Oh, you have receipts. Prove it. Carmen can back off. She will never get unblocked. Ever. No, you don't see the car.
You got one in there trying to say, check his charges. Okay, I'll tell you right now. I have one charge on my adult record.
But the minor ones, you know.
Yeah, that don't matter.
No.
Whatever happened as a minor don't even matter. It don't affect my adult record any.
No.
Like I said, the only charges that I ever had as an adult is a simple assault. So good luck digging anything else up.
I saw
Really
him
making threats again? Who's making threats? Nobody's making threats. I said go right ahead. Because that's the only thing you'll find is a simple assault. Yeah, you guys are talking a lot of crap and it's stop.
Carmen's not getting unblocked. She's the one that called the cops. She can go you know where. She will never get unblocked. And neither will Sunshine.
You can't dig, and as for, kind, you really can't. You can't, and plus, you wouldn't, you're not a judge. You don't have that clearance to go and look at somebody's criminal record.
No.
You don't. Because if I'm not mistaken, you can get in some severe trouble for that. I'm not 100%, but I'm
when
pretty
you become
sure.
an adult, they can.
No, I mean as a civilian. As a civilian, you
Their
cannot look at
shows
other-
everything. But when you're a minor,
Yeah, they can't.
there's nothing out there.
Yeah, they can't.
They
can't
can
search it.
think in their head.
Yeah. Hi, what's going on?
Nothing.
Oh, liar.
Yeah, when you're an adult, public record shows up. But on a minor, it don't show up. But nice try.
This dude, we found you, Beth. Is like, tell your mom about your boyfriend Devin. Who the f is Devin? And what? Is Devin? And what?
Yes, she did.
Well, found Beth.
Watch it.
I find that
Hey.
individual funny.
Look up behind you.
What's up, mamas? Hey, babies. He's looking at you. He's looking at you. Oh.
Great girl.
Dino looking at you.
She got muted.
Hi, handsome. Am I handsome? Y'all over there sleepy.
Dino, you gotta pay the
Where?
bills.
The individual's like, where's your proof? Where's my proof? I sat in county jail
No,
overnight.
talking about Carmen calling the cops.
But
She's from California. She admit to calling them.
yeah. That and the cops ended up getting a hold of you, didn't they?
Yeah, and they said that Carmen called.
Exactly.
And then she admit to calling.
He's looking. He looked up at you again.
Yeah, California.
He looked up at you again. Just a minute ago he did. Hi, bud.
Ouch. How, okay, hold on. Pookie is like, can you show receipts where the Carmen called the cops? Okay,
You don't get receipts talking to the
okay,
cops.
hold on. I really want to say how you know.
You gotta watch what you say. Come on.
I was gonna say, Pookie, are you missing a few brain cells up there? Because last time I checked, you don't get receipts for talking to the police officers.
Here he comes.
Because
What's up, handsome?
the cops would have gave us a lot of receipts because there's a lot of rude people that keeps calling them. So, no, they don't hand out receipts for talking to them.
Kelly, show proof. That's funny.
Yeah, let me see.
No, I'm kind of backtracked there. I'm caught up now. Happiness is because people think that we're doing something wrong. Hi, pretty mamas. Love you.
They don't show receipts from people calling.
Tail for you. Oh, he's looking at you now.
Butterfly tits.
Hey, she's looking at you. Stop it.
Well,
Mr.
send the
Meaty
cops
Man?
too.
Mr. Meaty Man, that's not your concern if they're on food stamps or not.
Oh, Texas Woody.
Butterfly, toots, scamming, and think what you want. Maybe that's what you're doing.
Sorry, Toots, we don't have no tips for you.
Sasha James. Receipts equals proof. Receipts, we keep saying, talking to an officer is not like going to Walmart. You don't get a receipt for talking to the cops. You are a special spud. You're a special type. You're a special kind. Oh, Sonny, we have proof.
No,
There's.
M. See what she said.
And Sonny's like, what is your proof that Carmen called them then?
They told me themselves.
You're not. You're just making it up without proof. We don't need proof because she said it herself.
My son ain't drinking.
I wish.
Well, Carmen ain't getting unblocked, so.
Yeah, and happiness and kindness. Yeah, they told us.
Oh, she's looking at you.
Hi.
People want to keep getting in the box. It ain't gonna happen.
Nobody cares, and nobody knows. I don't even know who you're talking about. Let's see here.
Oh, we're begging.
M has no post. Moody crew, huh? Just another random.
No, he's not slurring his words. He hasn't had a drink. Maybe soda. Soda don't get you drunk.
Who said? She's getting closer to you.
Yeah, you guys are doing a
Slurring
lot
my
of
words is wild.
rude talking.
Oh, these bags are wild.
I mean, I can make that happen where I go slur my words. But I would prefer not to.
Asking. My older son is too old to go to school. The youngest son, yes, he goes to school. He's on summer break.
Don't be talking about me.
He's on summer break.
No, don't be talking about me. Yep, they're right. Without asking me.
Pookie, you're not getting on in the box.
Hey, Cookie.
You can't check in his juvenile records. He was a minor. There's nothing out there.
Yeah, there is.
No, there ain't.
Yeah, there is. That one night he spent time in jail, remember?
That was, he's an adult.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That will show up.
Yeah, the adult ones show up, but not the minor ones. Yeah, okay, I don't believe you're an attorney. Hey, Carl! Did I lose custody of you when you were younger? Did I lose custody of you when you were younger?
Contact? Yes. Custody? No.
There's your answer.
There's a difference between custody and contact.
Boop.
Never come.
Oh, that's a troll. Think he knows everything. Miss Moo? Are you like a cow? Missy Moo? What a name.
Missy Moo is sitting there. Why do you lose contact? Why do you lose contact? Sorry, woman, you ain't getting in a box. Yeah, it does make sense, Sasha. Because I was placed with my grandma for a while.
You the personal
That they don't need to know that. You're a minor.
Yeah, I was a minor. But still,
And I had visits, but still, that's none of your guys' business. And he's home.
kind. It's like contact and custody go hand in hand. No, not really.
I went to court every time I got custody back. My mom never had custody of Carl.
She just needs. I mean, I'm over here with a headache, massive headache, because of this heat. But then again, I also want to go riding my skateboard, because why not?
Wait, you got custody back? I never lost custody of him. You ain't gonna get.
Mom, stop reading the fucking negative comments.
Thank you for the TikTok hat.
Mom, gotta stop reading the negative ones. Told you that earlier. You don't listen.
No, she will never get custody of my oldest son. Crazy.
Considering I'm going on 23 years old the end of this month, that's wild.
No, when you were a minor.
She licked her chops for you.
No, hold on. The way you said it made it sound like they're trying to get custody of me now.
No, talking about your grandma.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta give her
Trying to get custody.
My mom could never get custody of Carl when he was younger. No.
You gotta give her pets. She wants pets.
She had him stay with her, but the state was
for-
taking care of him.
For what? What was it?
I had court
3 months, maybe?
3 months, and I went to court and I fought him back. I had a home.
Why
They
is
li-
Mom reading negative comments again?
They lived in a motel room. So I got him back.
Okay,
And
I ain't gonna lie. The live was going pretty decent. Very minimal.
I did not lose custody.
Comments.
Mom, can you please end the live for a bit?
Hold on. Can I finish what I was saying, please?
And ask her to stop reading the negative
Can I
comments.
please? Like very minimal, incompetent questions. Very minimal, incompetent comments. Very minimal, incompetent accusations. I'm stressing the incompetence of these people.
Your grandma never got custody
No.
of you.
She never did. I was placed with her
Through the state.
through the state. But regardless, so what? I turned out pretty decent as a human being. Regardless.
Oh, they're talking about our dogs. Dogs, where are you?
Hi, babies.
Up your ass to the left.
They're with us.
Baby girl.
They ain't going to the pound.
You're pretty babies, huh?
They neglect their dogs.
Yeah, that's a joke. Get over yourselves, you incompetent.
Mom, can you end your live, please?
Stop.
Watch it, Mom.
We're just asking, Mom.
Oh. Oh, do we feed them? Yeah.
She does this to me all the time anyway.
We take good care of our dogs. Nobody's taking our dogs from us. You don't know who you're messing with.
Stop reading the goddamn negative comments for once. You're reading the negative comments.
You guys love the drama, not
Mom,
me.
end your live, please. I said please, and you don't want to be respectful?
Oh, okay.
You have no respect for me? I'm asking her to end your live, and she's not listening.
Ma, you remember that phone call that I had I had to make that over the other night? You guys are asking me if I was done making that phone call.
What phone call?
You do?
Oh, no.
No, he's asking me if I was done making them calls.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was.
I'm like, alright.